This video will cover the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch. I'm Nicholas, and this is the Law Enforcement Agency Information Channel. The National Park Service Investigative Services Branch, or NPS-ISB for short, is a civilian-staffed investigative United States federal law enforcement agency that falls under the National Park Service, or NPS for short, which falls under the U.S. Department of the Interior, or DOI for short. The National Park Service Investigative Services Branch is responsible for investigating federal crimes that either take place on national parks or involve National Park Service personnel. Now, since nearly all crimes that involve or take place on national parks are considered federal, the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch has an even broader jurisdiction. Specific crimes that the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch investigates include homicide, arson, poaching, theft, petty theft, timber theft, and much more. While their primary responsibility is investigating crimes involving or taking place on national parks, they are additionally responsible for providing security to National Park Service officials, specifically and mainly the National Park Service's director. But aside from that, people who work for the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch, or at least people who work for a law enforcement position within the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch, are typically known as special agents. But yeah, that's pretty much it for their main responsibilities, and yeah. Founded in 2003, the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch is a pretty new agency, at least within the National Park Service. The duties currently occupied by the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch were originally conducted by the National Park Service Law Enforcement Ranger Division and the U.S. Park Police. However, that all changed upon its formation. The National Park Service Investigative Services Branch reports to the director of the National Park Service. Sorry, that's my younger brother's upstairs. Where was I? Yeah, so they report to the director of the National Park Service, who reports to the Secretary of the Interior, who reports to the President of the United States. Yeah. National Park Service special agents have authority to make arrests, carry firearms, and as well as carry out warrants. The National Park Service Investigative Services Branch has domestic-wide jurisdiction throughout the United States and its individual territories to, number one, investigate federal crimes taken on National Park Service property or involving the National Park Service in some sort of way. And then number two, to protect National Park Service officials, such as the director of the National Park Service. National Park Service special agents train for approximately 25 to 30 weeks at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. The National Park Service Investigative Services Branch works with multiple law enforcement agencies, especially during investigations. Specific law enforcement agencies they work with include the FBI, DEA, ATF, USCG, NCIS, USPP, NPS LERD, NPS ISB, and much more.